Zeph, the god of the winds, was a mischievous fellow. In fact, mischievous was an understatement. He was a callous prankster. He would do whatever made him laugh without a thought for anyone else. He held no allegiances and simply ran round the world having fun. And he would play tricks on the other gods. As Lumos, god of fireflies, was perfecting his lamps to light up the night, Zeph would swoop down and blow them all out. And he greatly angered Dendra, goddess of trees, for though it was true that sometimes he would tickle the trees with his long fingers, most of the time he would just push them over for no reason at all, dragging their long roots out of the ground and killing them. And as Ground, great god of rock, slept one of his great slumbers, Zeph would throw sand in his face, eroding him, disturbing his slumber and itching him terribly. And those were just his favourite targets. He would also pick on the oceans, the fire, the leaves, the insects and birds, and any creature he could find. No one could catch him to stop him, for he was fast enough to outrun even the speediest of runners and flyers. As humans built more, there seemed to be more fun, for their buildings were fragile, made of twigs and mud. So he pulled tricks like heating his head and cooling his toes, forming himself into a great cone, and whizzing by, whisking up their houses and roads. And as the people ran, afraid, he would blow dust in their eyes until they went blind. And he would fly over the oceans, sucking up masses of water with a straw. And then he would fly onto the land and spit it all out, drowning and flooding villages and cities. In fact, eventually there was so much fun to be had, he tore himself into 4 pieces so he could be all over the earth having fun. And his breezy laughter could be heard in every country in the world. But thankfully, because Zeph was so fickle and lazy, he didn't notice what the humans were doing until it was too late. You see, they tend to learn from their mistakes. And so it was that he found himself surrounded by stubby buildings of stone, nets and tubes, great spindly white flowers, and huge pillars of light. He couldn't run around them, and they seemed very hard to push down, not like the old buildings at all. Worst were the giant white flowers with their rotating petals that grew in clumps on hills where Zeph loved to roam. And so, when the northwest part of Zeph, running away from a god he'd played a prank on, got caught up in one of the flowers, it tied him into knots and pulled him down into a great cave under the ground, where humans had made huge wheels. They forced Zeph to power the wheels, which powered in turn machines, grinding corn and spinning silk. Well, there were still parts of Zeph outside laughing and having fun, but he couldn't call up to warn them. He tried to call to the other gods in his reedy voice. Help me! Help me! Help me! But of those that heard him, no one would. They all still bore grudges against him for his vicious pranks. The animals of the air and the land and the sea and all the other gods didn't care about his fate. And so he was caught underground, and bit by bit the other parts of him were taken in by the machines of men. Well, the lucky ones. Some were torn to pieces in the mouths of great silver birds that were now dominating the sky as fast and as loud as him. And so Zeph was forced to work for people. He couldn't go around causing pranks anymore. Human beings were happy because they'd found a power source that would never run out. And Zeph was very miserable indeed. And serve him right.
you.